dance over Geass! By krspaceT. Yu-Gi-Oh! Time Loops, page 73. Britannia and its many loops had been known for some crazy reasons behind invading countries in loops, but this loop just might have taken the cake for LaRouche Lamperouche, who would prefer not to use V Britannius as much after his baseline. The dark-haired, violet-eyed former prince felt a headache come along as his looping memories came to him in full. Apparently, Britannia had invaded Japan for a card game. For specific mechanics of the card game, no less. Thousands of lives lost, cultural landmarks destroyed, the very name Japan stolen, replaced with Area 11, for Fusion, Synchro, and Geass monsters, which were apparently the replacement for Sakuraiites, which was plentiful in communist China, who have funded Britannia throughout its expansion. Hell, the entire war was fought with that damn card game instead of the actual weapons, with the nightmare frame being replaced with something called Pendulum Monsters. It was enough plain stupidity to make him want to bash his head against the wall. Sure, he had encountered the game before, and did in fact like it, but this was too much! He almost didn't want to rescue Cece this loop, simply because he wasn't sure that would apparently replace Geass. The ability to draw any card you wanted, perhaps? But seeing as it amused him to no end to continuously stop Britannia, he was still trying towards that perfect, no civilian casualty run he so desperately wanted to pull off at least once. He was going to save his immortal witch once again. Though hopefully there were some other loopers around who actually cared for this overly important card game. He'd ping them, but that might distract them in their high-stakes card games. You know, just when I think the satellite is the pits, we get a loop like this. Yusei Fudo, leader of a freedom fighter band this loop, snarked to his looping comrades as his tuner warrior opened fires on an enemy's El Shadow window. Yeah, we don't even have our extra decks to start the loop off! What a pain! Jaden Yuki complained as he narrowly used Negate Attack to block an attack on his Wild Heart from his attacker's legion of Burning Abyss monsters. Well, except for Akiza's lookalike. Speak for yourself! Some of us don't even need a damn extra deck! Joey Wheeler boasted as his Red Eyes Black Dragon struck a soldier directly, winning the duel rather handily and sucking the poor schmuck into what looks like the Shadow Realm. Well, one Black Rose Dragon isn't going to take down the Empire, or stop this massacre, Kite seriously noted as his Photon Crusher and Fraser were mowed down by a pair of Quilloff. Find the girl! I don't care how many soldiers we lose! The card within herself is too precious for me to escape! I, Clovis Britannia, command you to outduel these pitiful number terrorists! Kneel and await my further command. The command resonated throughout the command center, currently filled to the brim with not only the blonde viceroy of Area 11, but also his personal guard, all of whom were now kneeling to the confusion of the unaffected Clovis. Who are you? What are you doing to my men? And why are you dressed like a bad cartoon villain? Clovis stared in fury at the dark figure who strolled into his central command like he owned the place, his cape dramatically billowing behind them, his helmet hiding his face behind one-way glass, and if his ears were working right, had just retracted a bit before the command was given, as if to expose an eye. Better a cartoon villain than a real-world tyrant, the figure replied ominously. This would normally be where I try to reason with you, maybe appeal to your humanity, seeing as Nunnally believes, and has proven right, that you can be made an ally. But I have no reason to keep you alive. Not after ordering countless people to die over a damn playing card! But it has 3,500 attack power, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and grants its owner immortality! Clovis weakly muttered as the figure, really Lelouch in his Zero costume, twitched. Wait, Nunnally! Dispose of the prince, then turn yourselves in! Lelouch slaved the Geass guards off as they began to rise ominously and begin shambling towards Clovis like something out of a zombie movie. Oh, and make him call a ceasefire before he dies while you're at it. All of this death for a card game? It was loops like this that made him drink, and no prohibitionist crack squad of Shirleys was going to stop him. Once the battle ended, he would go check on the status of the loopers. If there was even a single looper who liked deciding the fate of everyone on drawing cards, he was dumping this loop's fate on them and taking a damn vacation loop. While they weren't able to get to their vast quantities of cards in their subspace pockets, they still had access to their loop-based abilities. With that, it wasn't hard for them to break into this Britannian compound in which the 8 of them now stood. Yusei, Jaden, Joey, Kite, Alexis, Crow, Alito, and a non-awake girl named Callan, who greatly resembled Akiza and even had the Black Rose Dragon card. Before them was a treasure trove of cards, thousands of them. Monsters, spells, traps, cards of all varieties were in here. The anchor of this reality, Lelouch, had passed on a message earlier via a green-haired girl named CC. "This loop's all yours. Just keep me and the following people out of it," which included Callan with a note about letting her fight, but promising anger if they let her die. That, and something about keeping a girl named Nina from inventing some doomsday card, had given the task of stopping these Britannian cis loops, and to leave himself and fellow awake looper CC alone from that moment onward. CC then stole his pizza and ran off into the sunset, giggling like a schoolgirl. While Yusei would have preferred him to have offered up a little bit of help, he recognized that some people got annoyed at loops when they found their life and death scenarios replaced by trading cards games. But the intel on this compound was well worth it. Picking up a pair of old friends in the form of a Junk Synchron and Stardust Dragon, Yusei felt the powers of the world tremble in anticipation for the conflict ahead. The beginning. Digital Diaries. In text, in words, in time.